Hey, what's up, James? This is a quick demo video for you for your 89 Sabers Ven Zallo or Zen Vallo. I forget. 89 Sabers. This is installed with a Profi. I get that name mixed up a lot. It's Zen or Ven Zallo. Pretty sure that's what it is. All right, but this is a 2-button setup. So your switches are underneath your clamp card. All right, your front switch or the front of your clamp card here is going to be your power. The back is going to be your auxiliary. This is a very interesting saber because it comes with a lot of parts and it's not particularly set up to assemble very easily, right? Or it's not like ready for install very easily. Typically, you'd have at least some sort of a switch PCB or some kind of box in there. It was completely hollow. So I made something up. I got some switches in there. You're good to go. Your crystal chamber window here, it came with a window, but there was no way to put it on. So what I've done here is I noticed there were 3 little holes inside of the door. So I printed out these small magnet holders, glued them in, glued the magnets into the holders. So we got those 3 there, right? I came through and I made the crystal chamber. So I designed it. I used a bunch of little brass rods, 2 little crystal chamber greeblies that I had left over from previous builds. There's a quartz crystal in there. That's a real quartz. But then I put these 3 magnets on here too. So that is how the door slides on and it stays on there. It's not going to come out. All right, but it is very easy to take off if you want to look at your crystal chamber. All right. You've got a Carl Chen Neopixel connector in here. This is his V4 connector. So we'll light that up here in a second. There is a single Neopixel wired up to the underside of that guy and facing down because you have a clear lens right here and another clear lens right here, and I wanted to be able to light those up. So that's what we did there. All right. You get to your chassis. You want to come over here and unscrew your handle. Again, the handle on this guy, barely enough room for anything. All right. So a battery and a speaker. I know you were asking me for a 28mm speaker. It's just not possible in this guy. There's not enough room. I think it's a 1.06-inch inner diameter on this handle, where a 28mm speaker is 1.1 inch. All right, so there wasn't enough room. I had the option to go with a 24mm speaker or a 22 that was fully enclosed. I'm a big proponent of these 22mm over the 24mm if you're able to fully enclose this and not the bigger one. So that's what I did here. It sounds really good. You do have a removable battery setup. I did just a little bit of filigree work to the chassis where there wasn't a whole lot of room to do much. So I just did a little something to match kind of the shininess of the saber. When you look in here, you have access to your SD card right there. So you'll need to do everything from your SD card, and you can pop it in and out with your finger or get a small pair of tweezers, and that's how you get to that. All right, so let's throw a battery in this guy. Please remember, spring side is your negative side of your battery. That's over here by your board. Don't put that in backwards. You hear that little boot up sound. One thing you'll want to make sure or just look out for on this handle has some kind of coating on the inside, and it's coming off. Every time I put my chassis in here, it rubs against the inside of this handle because I used as much space as I could, and it's flaking off. I tried to go in there and I tried to clean that. I got it pretty good, but every time you take it off, you might see a flake or two until that stops. You'll see it a lot better in person. It's got the same kind of coating that the outside has, but not as well. It's not coated as well, obviously, right, because it's peeling off. But just be mindful of that. Come over here. We'll put our handle on. Kind of line up the handle with, I glued on these 2 black strips for the handles. I put them on each side with this gold strip this gold part of the handle being lined up with the switch. All right, and I made your crystal pulse when the saber's off. So this is wired to the LS2 pad, and it pulses when the saber's off. So you see that until we hit power. Now, because your blade is red, the crystal's red. All right, so I just wanted to show you that. put the door back on there, and you'll notice you got some shine through here, and then also here, so we're able to light those up as well. All right. And you've got twist off on the CFX, so in also twist on. So when twisting, twist to the right. All right, twist to the right to turn it off. All right. Now your crystal will match your blade. And how you change your color is you just hold down auxiliary and twist the saber. Now you've got a blue blade, blue shine through, and a blue crystal. All right, do that again. Green. We'll go ahead and leave it on green because green is the actual color of this character's saber. All right, and we'll throw a blade in here. This is a tight fit. Pretty much all 89 Sabers brand sabers are that way. Your blade retention screw is right here. I'm not going to use it, but there are Allen keys in your kit so that you can use it. All right, but I'm just going to put my test blade in here. It is set up for a full length blade. And it lights that blade up nice. Blaster bolts is just tapping the auxiliary. Blade lockup is holding it down. You can see that in your crystal chamber. You got a nice green crystal chamber there. Blade lockup. Shine through your holes here, so those light up well. Put this blade back on, or the cover back on. It goes right on, no problem. You don't have to twist it off. You can just hold the button right. So turn on, then hold it to turn off. We'll go to another sound font by holding down auxiliary.
Sound bank selection. Nebula. Granny.
You can just cycle up or down through, just hit power auxiliary, either one. When you find one you like, hold the button down.
This party's over.
Take our door off. And just pop it right back on like that. Alright, and then when we're done, we can come over here and take our handle off. Well, we want to take a blade out first. Right? Take our handle off. It is a pretty tight fit in there, but you should be able to get it with your finger. Pop it out with your finger just like that from the positive side, which is over here by your speaker. But that is basically your Zallo Zallo saber. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks.